So what we're going to be doing in this retreat is half Chenrezig, half Manjushri. And Chenrezig emphasizes compassion, but implicit is wisdom. Manjushri emphasizes wisdom, but implicit is compassion. So these are just some very nice practices to have in your tool belt. And my name is Yun Tin, if you're feeling nervous about how to pronounce it, right? Yun, like moon, 10, like the number 10. There's no G in there. It's not yawn, right? It's Yun Tin. And if you get nervous, you can just say venerable. Okay, if you're sure, you're like, I'm not sure, actually, I've just lost it. Venerable works for all of us. So when we do these retreats, I think it's important to really make sure we don't bring at all an uptight mind. So if anything about your physicality gets uncomfortable, please shift position. Or if you want to experiment, right? Like if you're normally a cushion person and you need a chair, or you're normally a chair person and you want to try a cushion, just have at it, right? Like this is your gomba, make it your own. And if you want to go back and forth between different sitting positions, that's totally fine. For those of you on chairs, you might want to experiment with like adding a cushion behind the small of your back or something under your feet, just so it's easy to have a straight back. Because the straighter your back, the easier to focus. So it's like, let's make life easy for ourselves, yeah, and just make sure the body can support the mind. For those of you on cushions, I think some of you are really experienced sitters, but if you haven't been used to sitting so long, you might want to play around with like adding a cushion under each knee or changing the tilt or just making sure that you're not straining. So the discipline is a tiny bit of discomfort is okay because it might actually get you stronger for sitting, but if it's painful, cut it out, okay? All right, so take a minute and be in the body and just do what you need to do to feel really centered physically first. And so if you need to scooch or if you need to shift, and if you'd like to have your hands in the traditional way, it's left on the bottom, right on the top, the two thumbs gently touching, just in your lap. But if you prefer, you can also just put your hands on your knees. But just for a moment, bring your attention to your hands and make sure that you're not holding any tension there. Let them be relaxed, however you've decided for them to be. And move your awareness up your arms to your shoulders. And allow your shoulders to kind of drop into their natural position. Just noticing if you've gathered any tension there at your shoulders, scanning back and forth across the tops of them, letting them come into balance. And move your focus to the base of your neck. And scan up your neck, imagining that it comes into perfect alignment, whether it's actually able to or not. And allow the head to gently tilt forward, tucking the chin in. Not tightly, but just an intentional, gentle tuck of the chin. And just mentally scan a couple of times up the neck, over the back of the head, down the forehead, allowing it to unfurrow, down the eyelids, allowing them to close most of the way, not squeezed tight, just very lightly closed. Maybe a little light still gets in. Relaxing down the planes of your face, releasing any tension that you might be holding around the mouth. Making sure the jaw is unclenched. Tongue resting gently on the upper palate. And moving the relaxation down the chin, down the front of the throat and through the throat. And down into your torso. And so first being aware of the lungs, not a breath meditation, just an awareness of breath. Is enough air getting in, all the way down into the lungs, down into the diaphragm? And if you notice you're breathing just in your upper chest, see if you can really gently invite the breath all the way down. And relaxing the stomach, not clenched or held in. Like you've just loosened your belt at the end of the day, all alone at home without being self-conscious. No one is looking at you. Let the belly out. And imagine that everything in the front of your body becomes very soft, very receptive, unguarded, and at ease. And shift your focus back to the base of your neck. And now scan down your spine, vertebrae by vertebrae. Imagining the spine comes into perfect alignment, whether it's actually able to or not. Just walk your focus down gradually from the base of your neck down to your tailbone. All of the surrounding muscles relaxing, balancing, settling. And while the front of you is soft, the back of you is strong. Strong back, soft front. Strength without tension. And move the relaxation down through your hips, down both legs. Imagining that any residual tension leaves out your toes, dissolving into space. Relaxing down through the hips and legs. And then with the sound of the bell, shift your focus to awareness of the breath. And just let your mind be aware of your breathing. And at this point, if your breath is short, you simply know that it's short. If it's deep, you simply know that it's deep. No need to adjust. Just let the breath breathe while being aware of it. And we use this to let the surface distractions settle. Letting any stress or busyness from the day settle. Just the breath. And try not to anticipate what is next. And try not to fall into what just happened. Whatever thoughts arise, just notice them without feeding them. Come back to the breath. And it's not about not having thoughts. It's about changing your relationship to them. So for this short time, decide not to agree with what you say to yourself or to disagree with what you say to yourself. Not suppressing, not engaging. No push or pull with your thoughts. Just notice and disengage. Come back to the breath on purpose, again and again. And see if you can allow yourself to relax without spacing out. And allow yourself to focus without that being associated with stress. Just a simple focus on the breath. And now see if you can just watch the out breath only. Let your focus follow the out breath all the way out. And with the in breath, just allow space. And shift to analysis, looking at the text. We do the refuge and bodhicitta prayer together 3 times. I go for refuge until I'm enlightened to the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Supreme Assembly. By merit that I create from giving and other perfections, may I attain the state of a Buddha in order to benefit all sentient beings. I go for refuge until I'm enlightened to the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Supreme Assembly. By merit that I create from giving and other perfections, may I attain the state of a Buddha in order to benefit all sentient beings. I go for refuge until I'm enlightened to the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Supreme Assembly. By merit that I create from giving and other perfections, may I attain the state of a Buddha in order to benefit all sentient beings. May all sentient beings have happiness and the causes of happiness. May all sentient beings be free from suffering and the causes of suffering. May all sentient beings not be separated from higher rebirth and the bliss of liberation. May all sentient beings abide in a state of equanimity, free from attachment and hatred, free from holding some close and others distant. To my root guru, the quintessence of all refuge objects, I go for refuge. Please bless my mind with your transforming powers. To my root guru, the quintessence of all refuge objects, I go for refuge. Please bless my mind with your transforming powers. To my root guru, the quintessence of all refuge objects, I go for refuge. Please bless my mind with your transforming powers. And so now taking a moment to meditate on refuge and bodhicitta and the 4 immeasurable thoughts, the special refuge, letting them connect with your heart. Strengthen your motivation, putting it into your own words if it helps. And then visualize on the crown of my head, seated on a white lotus and moon disk, is the protector, my root guru, Chenrezig. He is white in color and has one face and 4 arms. The first 2 hands are joined together at his heart and hold a wish-fulfilling gem. His second right hand holds a crystal rosary, while his second left hand holds a white lotus. He is seated in a cross-legged Vajra posture, adorned in fine silk garments, and is adorned with precious ornaments. And so stabilize the visualization as best as you can, even if it just starts with simple white light above your crown. Bring in as many details as you can. Compassion Buddha present, 3-dimensional, made of transparent light. Living and present. And you can start at the bottom of the visualization and gradually work your way up and down again, bringing in as many details as you can. And so starting with the lotus, representing renunciation, the determination to be free from samsara. This brilliant white lotus, made of light, wide open. On top of it, a moon disk. And under it, but not seen, a sun disk. These 2 representing bodhicitta, the mind of enlightenment, as well as wisdom, the correct view of emptiness. And seated there in a youthful form, in the Vajra posture, is Chenrezig. His first 2 hands in a prayer mudra, wish-fulfilling jewel between them, representing compassion. The left hand holding the stem of a lotus flower, representing wisdom. The right hand holding a mala, rosary prayer beads, reminding us to say the mantra. An antelope skin over his left breast, reminding us of the sacrifices we can make for compassion, for the greater good. His face gently smiling, his hair tied up in a top knot. All sorts of jewels and ornaments, crowns, silken scarves, all representing different aspects of the path. But more important than the visualization is to think Chenrezig is here now. All of the compassion energy of all holy beings takes this form, present for me here and now. Waking up my own compassionate wisdom and inviting the support of compassionate wisdom from the outside. So holding some of those thoughts, holding that impression of form, not too tight, not too loose. And then add the syllables Om, Ah, and Hum at his three places: crown, throat, and heart center. White Om, red Ah, blue Hum. Enlightened body, enlightened speech, enlightened mind. The syllables Om, Ah, and Hum at his three places amid light that invites Guru Chenrezig from his natural abode. Meaning all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas of all 10 directions take the aspect of Chenrezig, are all invited and gather here. One in nature with all of your teachers. Anyone who's moved your heart towards a path of altruism and ethics. And Guru Chenrezig dissolves into the Guru Chenrezig on my crown, who becomes the essence of the three refuges, Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha. And so holding that awareness as best as you can, now we do the prayer in 7 limbs together. Bottom of page 4. I prostrate with my body, speech, and mind in faith. Each and every offering I make, including those really performed and those mentally transformed. I confess all negativities have collected from beginning this life in samsara. I rejoice in the virtuous actions of all ordinary and noble beings. Please, Buddha, by living as our guide until samsara ends, reveal the teachings to all sentient beings. I dedicate my own virtues and those of others to the great enlightenment. And we offer a mandala. By the virtue of offering to you, assembly of Buddhas, visualized before me, this mandala built on a base resplendent with flowers, saffron water, incense, and adorned with Mount Meru, the 4 continents, the sun and the moon. May all beings share in its good effects. Yedam Guru Ratna Mandala Kamiyatayani. Prostration. To Arya Chenrezig, whose body is pure white, unstained by defilements, whose head is adorned by the fully enlightened Buddha Amitabha, to you who gaze upon all sentient beings with eyes of boundless compassion, I prostrate. And so returning to your visualization, a stream of 5 kinds of nectar, white, red, blue, yellow, and green, pour from the heart of Chenrezig and enters the crown of my head. The nectar purifies all delusions, obscurations, and their latencies. And I receive all the blessings. And so bring that visualization of 5-colored light from his heart to your crown, light flowing down and through you. And turn to page 9, the long mantra. And so the long Chenrezig mantra, we'll do it 3 times and join in as soon as you feel like you're getting the hang of it. Namo Ratnachaya Namo Hayayana Sagara Verochana Buharatsaya Tatagataya Ahate Samyak Sampuraya Namo Sawa Tatagatebe Ahate be samyak sambhurave Namo Arya Avalokite Shodaya Bodhisattvaya Mahasattvaya Mahakarunikaya Taigata Om Dara Dara Diri Diri Duru Duru Ite vate sale sale prasale prasale kusume kusume warili lili siti tolam apalaye soha. Namo Ratnatraya Namo Hayayana Sakara Virochana Buharatsaya Tatagataya Ahate Samyak Sambudaya Namo Sawa Tatagatebe Ahate be samyak sambhurave Namo Arya Avalokite Shodaya Bodhisattvaya Mahasattvaya Mahakarunikaya Dayata Om Dara Dara Diri Diri Duru Duru Ite vate sale sale prasale prasale kusume kusume warili lili siti tolam apanaye soha. Namo Ratnatraya Namo Hayayana Sagara Virochana Buharatsaya Tatagataya Ahate Samyak Sambhuraya Namo Sawa Tatagatebe Ahate be samyak sambhurave Namo Arya Avalokite Shodaya Bodhisattvaya Mahasattvaya Mahakarunikaya Dayata Om Dara Dara Diri Diri Duru Duru Ite vate sale sale, prasale prasale, kusume kusume, wari lili siti ton lapanai soha. Back to page 6. And bringing back or reviving the visualization if it's lost vividness. 5-colored light flowing from Chenrezig's heart to your crown, down and through you. We add Om Mani Padme Hum. We'll do several times together and then under our breath, silently to ourselves. Om Mani Padme Hum. 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 Continue the mantra under your breath, together with the visualization. Om Mani Padme Hum. And Chenrezig at your crown dissolves into light and absorbs into you, blessing your body, speech, and mind. And we do the request to the Supreme Compassionate One. Together. Praise to the beautiful four-armed Lord of the world, sublime embodiment emanating from the unity of all the victorious ones of the 3 times, possessor of all knowledge and holder of the lotus. Your immaculate feet beautifully ornament my crown. May the karmic pollution of myself and others be washed away by the cool tear of your compassion, great loving protector. Sole refuge of pitiful transmigrating beings who have no guide. You generated bodhicitta first and then reached the extreme limit. O merciful one, please behold with your compassionate eye the beings of the evil gone caught in realms difficult to escape, experiencing the individual results of evil actions as hell beings or predators amongst animals, asuras, and so on. Behold with compassion the thoughtless ones who return empty-handed. Even their high rebirth was without meaning. Their human bodies were so rare and fragile that their lives were consumed only in suffering. Amidst their endless actions, the Lord of Death arrived. Behold with compassion tough-skinned beings like me, who maintain a religious manner but do not achieve the great meaning. Being overwhelmed by attachment, hatred, and the 8 worldly concerns, without having subdued our minds by observing cause and result. With compassion, please lead those without refuge on the path, for when their vision of this life fades, the vision of their self-created karma arises as the enemy in the bardo. and they are taken on a precipitous route by Yama's messenger. Look upon us with compassion, O Lama Chenrezig, mother attached by compassion to all sentient beings, who is the special sole refuge of the snowland. May I and all others quickly attain your state of enlightenment. Back to page 6 for the dedication. May I quickly become Arya Chenrezig and lead all sentient beings to his enlightened realm. May the precious Bodhi mind, not yet born, arise and grow. May that born have no decline, but increase forevermore. And remembering the lack of inherently existent self, lack of inherently existent practice, lack of inherently existent result, all dependently arises. Okay, so you can relax your attention. And I think the schedule said we were ending at 8:30, but it's just at 8 because I want you guys to have a nice early night and to be able to settle into your space. When you're doing group practice like this, when you're doing sadhana practice like this, it's different than like a Vipassana or a shamatha retreat. It's very different. It's actually really helping us with flexibility of mind. So you're moving in and out of meditation modalities. So don't kind of like get into a dreamy, sleepy zone where you can't speak anymore, okay? Which you shouldn't do in any meditations in any case. But it might be jarring if you're used to more contemplative meditations where there's no speaking. It can be jarring to sort of like into visualization, into speaking, into mantra recitation, sort of open eyes, close eyes. It can be jarring, but actually what it can do is create a wonderful flexibility of mind that's able to move in and out of modalities, which is then going to be very useful in your daily life. So saying the prayers out loud also helps purify speech karma. And if we think us nice, polite people who are doing not too bad in terms of ethics, probably our biggest mistakes are through the speech, I'm guessing, right? We're not serial killers, we're not embezzling money, right? We're not stealing everyone's partner, right? But maybe we're a bit divisive, right? Maybe we're a bit harsh. Maybe we're a fibber, right? That kind of thing. So if you think anytime you're reciting a prayer like this, it stands in direct opposition to all the negative speech karma that you're creating, and it really helps develop positive speech karma. And that means that when you do speak important truths to people, they land. You're heard, you're understood, you're believed, you're taken seriously, your words have weight. So it's good to say these prayers aloud. If you feel self-conscious, of course, just you can whisper them, but try and let some air come out your mouth. So if you're feeling self-conscious, that's totally understandable. But these Tantra style meditations, there's a lot of movement, coming in and out of modalities. So you'll get used to it, and just gently. So you're very welcome to take these manuals back to your room and have a look at them if you want to. Just make sure you bring them back to every single session because you'll need them for every session. Have a nice night. I'll see you tomorrow. Tomorrow's session starts at 7:15.
Thank you, Venerable.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you so much.